The Galactic Council chamber hummed with the low murmur of countless voices, a symphony of languages from across the stars. Delegates from 1,000 species filled the grand hall, their forms as varied as the worlds they represented. Yet, amidst the vibrant diversity, one seat remained conspicuously empty, the seat of Earth. It stood as a silent enigma, a void that no species dared to claim or question too loudly. Whispers of humanity's absence had long since become legend, a story told in hushed tones among the young and curious. "Why is it always empty?" a young delegate from the Zephyrian Concord asked, their voice trembling with a mix of awe and unease. What happened to them? No one answered. The older delegates exchanged uneasy glances, their silence speaking volumes. Centuries ago, humanity had been invited to join the Galactic Council. They were a young species, barely stepping into the cosmos, yet their potential was undeniable. Their first contact with the galactic community had been met with both excitement and trepidation. Humanity was different, brilliant, unpredictable, and fiercely independent. They accepted the invitation, but never took their seat. Over time, their absence became a mystery, a puzzle that no one could solve. Some said humanity had destroyed itself in a cataclysmic war. Others believed they had transcended physical form, ascending to a higher plane of existence. But the most chilling theory was that they had chosen to disappear, hiding from something or someone. Zorak, a young historian from the Krelian Empire, had always been fascinated by the mystery of Earth's empty seat. Unlike others, who dismissed it as a relic of the past, Zorak saw it as a riddle waiting to be solved. Their research led them to fragmented records, scattered across the galaxy, each piece hinting at a larger truth. One record stood out, a final message from humanity, sent to the Galactic Council before they vanished. The message was cryptic, its words etched into Zorak's mind. "We will not take our seat. For your sake, do not seek us out." The warning was clear, yet it only deepened Zorak's resolve. What could have driven humanity to such extremes? What were they hiding from? The answer, Zorak believed, lay in a hidden archive on the remote planet of Zal 7. The archive was forbidden, its existence known only to a select few. It was said to contain classified data about humanity, information deemed too dangerous for public knowledge. Zorak knew the risks. Accessing the archive was punishable by exile, or worse. But the historians' curiosity outweighed their fear. They secured passage to Zal 7, a desolate world on the fringes of civilized space. The journey was perilous, but Zorak pressed on, driven by a singular purpose, to uncover the truth. The archive was buried deep beneath the planet's surface, its entrance concealed by layers of rock and ice. Zorak's tools were crude, but their determination was unyielding. Hours turned into days as they hacked away at the frozen ground, their hands numb from the cold. Finally, they broke through. The archive was a vast chamber, its walls lined with holographic records and ancient artifacts. Zorak's breath caught in their throat as they activated the first hologram. The image of a human appeared, their face etched with sorrow and resolve. "To whoever finds this," the human began, "know that what you are about to learn comes with a grave warning. We chose this path not out of fear, but out of necessity. For the sake of all life, you must understand." The hologram revealed the truth. Humanity had discovered a cosmic threat, a parasitic entity that consumed entire civilizations. The entity was drawn to power and technology, feeding on the energy of advanced species. Humanity, realizing the danger, made a choice. They destroyed their own interstellar capabilities, severing their ties to the galaxy. They went silent, not out of weakness, but to protect others. "We are the shield," the human said, their voice trembling with emotion. "Do not become the sword." The message ended abruptly, leaving Zorak in stunned silence. The weight of humanity's sacrifice was overwhelming. They had given up everything, their future, their place among the stars, to protect the galaxy. As Zorak absorbed the revelation, a noise echoed through the chamber. The historian turned to see council enforcers entering the archive, their weapons drawn. Zorak's heart raced. They had been discovered. The enforcers advanced, their faces grim. "You shouldn't have come here," one of them said. Zorak knew there was no time to explain. They grabbed the data crystal containing the holographic records and fled, the enforcers close behind. The historian's mind raced as they navigated the labyrinthine tunnels of the archive. They had to escape. The truth about humanity could not die with them. The galaxy needed to know. The entity was real, and it was coming. Zorak's ship tore through the void, its engines straining under the strain of pursuit. Behind them, the Council enforcers' vessels loomed, their weapons locked on. The historian's hands trembled as they input coordinates into the navigation system, their mind racing. They couldn't return the galactic core. Not yet. The data crystal in their possession was too valuable, too dangerous. It contained the truth about humanity, a truth the Council had buried for centuries. Zorak's thoughts turned to the holographic records, the haunting words of the human who had warned the entity. "We are the shield," the human had said. "Do not become the sword." The words echoed in Zorak's mind, a mantra of desperation and resolve. They had to find a way to warn the galaxy. But how? The Council would stop at nothing to silence them. The chase led Zorak to the edge of known space, a region of the galaxy shrouded in mystery and danger. Here, the stars were sparse, and the void seemed to stretch endlessly. It was a place where few dared to venture, a perfect hiding spot. Zorak's ship entered the orbit of a barren moon, its surface scarred by ancient impacts. The historian activated the ship's cloaking device, hoping to buy time. The enforcer ships passed by, their sensors unable to detect the hidden vessel. Zorak exhaled, their body trembling with relief. But they knew the reprieve was temporary. The enforcers would not give up so easily. Alone in the silence of their ship, Zorak inserted the data crystal into the console. The holographic records flickered to life, revealing more of humanity's story. The entity, as the humans had called it, was not a natural phenomenon. It was a predator, a being of pure energy that fed on the life force of advanced civilizations. Humanity had first encountered it during their early explorations of the cosmos. At first, they had tried to fight it, to destroy it with their most powerful weapons. But the entity only grew stronger, feeding on the energy of their attacks. Realizing the futility of resistance, humanity made a choice. They retreated, severing their ties to the galaxy and destroying their own technology to starve the entity of its prey. It was a sacrifice unlike any other, a testament to humanity's courage and selflessness. Zorak's heart ached as they absorbed the magnitude of humanity's sacrifice. They had given up their place among the stars, their dreams of exploration and discovery, to protect others. And yet, their warning had gone unheeded. The Galactic Council, blinded by ambition and greed, had continued to expand, their technology growing more advanced with each passing year. They had become the very thing humanity had feared, a beacon for the entity. Zorak clenched their fists, their resolve hardening. They had to stop the Council, to make them see the danger before it was too late. But how? The Council was powerful, its influence spanning the galaxy. Zorak was just one historian, armed only with the truth. They needed allies, others who would listen and believe. Their thoughts turned to few species who had always questioned the Council's authority, who had resisted its expansionist policies. Among them were the Velani, a reclusive race known for their wisdom and foresight. If anyone would listen, it would be them. Zorak input the coordinates for Velon, their ship's engines roaring to life. The journey would be long and perilous, but they had no other choice. As the ship hurtled through hyperspace, Zorak reviewed the holographic records once more. There was something they had missed, a detail buried in the data. The humans had not just retreated. They had left something behind, a weapon hidden on Earth capable of defeating the entity. But accessing it would require understanding humanity's sacrifice, their willingness to give up everything for the greater good. Zorak's mind raced. If they could reach Earth, if they could find the weapon, they might have a chance. But Earth was a forbidden world, its location erased from all records. The only clue was a single line in the holographic records. The shield is the key. Zorak's ship emerged from hyperspace near Velon, a lush planet shrouded in mist. The Velani were waiting, their ancient eyes filled with curiosity and concern. Zorak stepped onto the planet's surface, the data crystal clutched tightly in their hand. They were greeted by Elder Kale, the leader of the Velani. "You carry a great burden," Kale said, their voice calm and measured. "Speak, and we will listen." Zorak told them everything. The entity, humanity's sacrifice, the weapon hidden on Earth. The Velani listened in silence, their expressions growing graver with each word. When Zorak finished, Kale nodded slowly. "The Council will not heed this warning," they said. "But we will. The galaxy must be prepared, for the entity will come." With the Velani's support, Zorak began to assemble a team. Among them was Terran, a skilled pilot from the Zephyrian Concord, Voss, a brilliant engineer from the Krelian Empire, and Lyra, a warrior from the Velani. Together, they would journey to Earth to find the weapon and prepare for the coming storm. But time was running out. Reports had begun to filter in from the outer colonies. Strange energy signatures, entire worlds going dark. The entity was on the move, and the galaxy was unprepared. As Zorak and their team prepared to depart, they knew the odds were against them. The Council would hunt them, the entity would pursue them, and the weapon on Earth might be nothing more than a myth. But they had no other choice. The galaxy's fate hung in the balance, and humanity's legacy was their only hope. Zorak looked at their team, their faces filled with determination. "We are the shield," they said, echoing the words of the humans, "and we will not fail." The journey to Earth was fraught with tension, the weight of their mission pressing heavily on Zorak and their team. The ship's interior was silent save for the hum of the engines, each member lost in their thoughts. Terran's hands moved deftly over the controls, navigating the treacherous routes through uncharted space. Voss tinkered with the ship's systems, ensuring they remained undetected by the Council's ever-watchful sensors. Lyra sat quietly, her sharp eyes scanning the star charts, her mind calculating the risks ahead. Zorak, meanwhile, reviewed the holographic records again, searching for any clue they might have missed. The line, "The shield is the key," gnawed at them. What did it mean? Earth's location was a mystery, its coordinates erased from all known records. But Zorak had a theory. If humanity had left something behind, it would be hidden not just physically but symbolically. The shield wasn't just a weapon. It was a concept, a philosophy. Humanity's sacrifice was the key. As the ship approached the Sol system, the tension aboard reached a fever pitch. The system was a graveyard, its planets barren and lifeless. Earth, once a vibrant blue gem, was now a desolate wasteland, its surface scarred by centuries of neglect. Zorak's heart ached as they gazed upon the planet, the cradle of humanity now reduced to dust. The team descended to the surface, their ship landing in what was once a sprawling city. The ruins stretched as far as the eye could see, a haunting reminder of what had been lost. Zorak led the way, the data crystal in hand, its faint glow guiding them through the rubble. Deep beneath the ruins, they found it, a massive structure, its walls etched with symbols and writings in a language long forgotten. The team worked quickly, their combined skills unlocking the ancient mechanisms. The doors groaned open, revealing a chamber bathed in soft light. At its center stood a pedestal, and atop it rested a small, unassuming device. Zorak approached cautiously, their breath catching in their throat. This was it, the weapon humanity had left behind. But as they reached for it, the chamber trembled, the walls shaking as if the planet itself was awakening. A holographic figure materialized before them, a human, their face lined with age and wisdom. "You have come far," the figure said, their voice echoing through the chamber. "But the true test lies ahead. The shield is not a weapon, it is a choice." The figure explained that the device was not designed to destroy the entity, but to unite the galaxy against it. Humanity had realized that the only way to defeat the entity was through collective sacrifice, the willingness to give up power and technology to starve of its prey. The device would amplify this unity, channeling the energy of every species in the galaxy into a single, focused effort. But it came with a cost. Activating the device will require the user to merge with it, to become a conduit for the galaxy's energy. It was a sacrifice few would be willing to make. Zorak looked at their team, their faces filled with determination. They knew what had to be done. Before they could act, the chamber shook violently, the walls cracking under the strain. The entity had found them. Its presence was overwhelming, a suffocating darkness that threatened to consume everything. Zorak grabbed the device, its surface warm to the touch. "We don't have much time," they said, their voice steady. "I'll activate the device. The rest of you, get back to the ship and warn the galaxy. Tell them what humanity did. Tell them to unite." The team hesitated, their loyalty to Zorak warring with their sense of duty. But they knew there was no other way. With a final nod, they turned and fled, leaving Zorak alone in the chamber. The entity's presence grew stronger, its tendrils of darkness creeping into the chamber. Zorak activated the device, its light flooding the room. The pain was immediate, a searing agony as the device merged with their body. But Zorak held on, their mind focused on the task at hand. They could feel the energy of the galaxy flowing through them, a torrent of power that threatened to overwhelm them. But they held on, their resolve unshakable. The entity recoiled, its form flickering as the light grew brighter. Zorak's vision blurred, their body trembling under the strain. But they held on, their voice a whisper in the void. "We are the shield." As the light reached its peak, the entity let out a final, deafening roar before disintegrating into nothingness. The chamber fell silent, the device's light fading as Zorak collapsed to the ground. Their body was broken, their strength gone, but they had done it. The entity was defeated, the galaxy saved. Zorak's final thoughts were of humanity, their sacrifice, and the legacy they had left behind. The shield had held. The galaxy was safe. And as Zorak's eyes closed, they knew their mission was complete. The galaxy awoke to a new dawn, its skies clear the shadow that had loomed for centuries. The entity was gone, its presence erased from the cosmos. But the cost had been great. Zorak's sacrifice echoed across the stars, a beacon of hope and unity. The team returned to Galactic Council, their hearts heavy but their resolve unshaken. They carried with them the truth of humanity's sacrifice, the truth of the entity, and the truth of Zorak's final act. The Council, once blind to the danger, now listened in stunned silence. The empty seat of Earth, long a symbol of mystery and fear, became a symbol of something greater. Courage, selflessness, and enduring strength of unity. The team's testimony spread like wildfire, carried by every communication channel in the galaxy. Species that had once been divided by politics and pride now came together, their differences set aside in the face of a greater purpose. The Velani, the Krelian Empire, the Zephyrian Concord, all stood as one, their voices united in a single message. "We are the shield." Monuments were erected in honor of humanity and Zorak, their names etched into the annals of history. The Galactic Council, humbled by its mistakes, vowed to honor their legacy by fostering peace and cooperation among all species. The galaxy began to heal, its wounds slowly closing as it embraced a new era of unity. But the journey was far from over. The team, now hailed as heroes, knew their work was not done. The device Zorak had activated had not only defeated the entity, but also left behind a network of energy, a living reminder of humanity's sacrifice. This network, known as the Shield Nexes, became a symbol of hope and a tool for the future. It allowed species to communicate and share knowledge like never before, bridging the gaps that had once divided them. The Nexus also served as a warning, a constant reminder of the dangers of unchecked ambition and the importance of selflessness. Terran, Voss, and Lyra took on new roles as guardians of the Nexus, ensuring its power was used wisely. They traveled the galaxy, sharing the story of humanity and Zorak, inspiring others to embrace the principles of unity and sacrifice. Their efforts bore fruit as more and more species joined the cause, their collective strength growing with each passing day. The galaxy, once on the brink of destruction, now thrived, its future brighter than ever. Yet, amidst the celebration, there were those who remembered the cost. Zorak's name was spoken with reverence, their sacrifice a reminder of the price of peace. The empty seat of Earth remained in the Galactic Council chamber, a silent tribute to humanity's enduring legacy. It was a symbol of what had been lost and what had been gained, a testament to the power of selflessness and the strength of unity. The galaxy would never forget. As the years passed, the story of humanity and Zorak became legend, passed down from generation to generation. It was a story of hope, of courage, and of the enduring power of a shield. The galaxy, once divided, now stood as one its future secure, and though the entity was gone, its shadow lingered in the collective memory, a reminder of the dangers that lay beyond the stars. But the galaxy was ready. It had faced the darkness and emerged stronger, united by the legacy of those who had come before. The team, now older but no less determined, continued their work, their efforts ensuring that the galaxy would never again face such a threat. They knew the road ahead would be long and fraught with challenges, but they also knew they were not alone. The galaxy was with them, its strength forged in the fires of sacrifice and unity. And as they looked to the stars, they knew that humanity's legacy would endure, a shining beacon of hope for all time. The empty sea of Earth remained, a silent sentinel in the Galactic Council chamber. It was a reminder of what had been lost and what had been gained, a symbol of the enduring strength of the shield. The galaxy would never forget, and as the stars shone brightly in the night sky, their light a testament to the power of unity, the galaxy knew one thing for certain: the shield would always hold.